Hey, it's Thomas Mulready from CoolCleveland.com, and we're here today at the Virginia Marti College of Art and Design, and we're here with Ali Rahimi from Mon Atelier, and you are visiting Virginia Marti at her invitation to talk to the students here?
Well, I was invited to come in. I'm very much obliged to Mrs. Marti for giving me a career and giving me a chance to make a living at what I'd love to do. So when she called personally and asked me if I'd come in and talk to some of her students, I was happy to do it.
Talk about your history with Virginia Marti.
I went to school at Virginia Marti a long time ago. I graduated in 1986.
Wow.
And subsequently moved to Los Angeles, California, and started a small business over there.
You say small business, and yet we're looking at some of these gowns here. These are red carpet gowns. These are Academy Award gowns, some of these, right?
We've had our fair share of award shows. Thank God. You can't be in Los Angeles and not participate in those wonderful events. So we've had...
how many, you said you had how many on the red carpets?
Oh my gosh, I honestly can't even remember. It's been so many. There are dozens and dozens on the red carpet.
Wow.
We've been graciously blessed by different clients who've loved my gowns and have worn them.
And what did you learn at Virginia Marti? How you say it got you started?
Everything.
Yeah.
I knew I wanted to become a designer. I had a notion to do this for a living. I didn't know how, and they taught me how.
And you probably didn't know what that meant.
I didn't know. I just assumed, my mother would buy these beautiful gowns and beautiful clothes, and I just kind of assumed you went to this magical little shop and you got something done. And I came to the school with a portfolio full of sketches, but I had no idea to make those sketches come to life.
You talked about that you still sketch on paper with pencil?
Yes.
No technology for you?
None whatsoever. As little technology as possible.
But you have a staff as well that helps you execute and do the buttons and the boring stuff.
Buttons and notions, yes.
Notions.
I do have a staff of 7 that work for me. A really wonderful staff that work many long hours to get these things done. These things are never created by yourself. It takes a village to really create these things. So I conceive them, and I design them, I sketch them, and hand off the sketch to my pattern maker, and she's been with me for over 18 years. Puts these beautiful garments together, and then they get cut and sewn, and then I'm involved in every aspect of it, in the draping part of it and the beading part of it.
Talk about some of the draping here, because you were saying that this gown behind you didn't really know what that was going to look like until you got the fabric and you started to drape it, right?
Well, the fabric was a custom piece of fabric. I had an idea. These are my favorite colors, grays and pinks, and I wanted an ombre piece of chiffon made so that it would graduate from a pale gray to a beautiful pale pink. And the bottom part of it, I knew for sure what I wanted. The top part of it, I changed 5 times before I rested on this particular idea.
Right.
So this was one of those things that gave me the most amount of trouble in my head. So it took a little bit of time to really make this gown come to life.
The fabric will have a life of its own to some extent, right?
As a designer, I think any good designer, whether you're an architect or you design clothing or you're a chef, you listen to your material, you listen to your fabric, you listen to your ingredients, and try to figure out what it is that particular garment, but that particular ingredient wants to do.
How does it start here? I assume you're being commissioned to do many of these, that you're not doing them just on spec and putting them out there, or do you do it that way?
I do both. There are some gowns. This gown that's right behind you, I made for a client, Tabitha Coffey, she has a wonderful show on Bravo called Tabitha Salon Takeover. Mm-hmm. She came to me, she was going to the Academy Awards, and she asked me if I would make a gown for her. So I sketched this in just a couple of minutes, and we made this gown for her in 3 days.
Really?
Which was a little bit of a rush, but...
That's not normal, though. Normally it takes you...
It's not normal to create a gown in 3 days, but before the Academy Awards, it's normal to make things in 24 hours, which we've done.
Really?
Yes.
Because they don't know they're going?
Sometimes they don't know they're going. Sometimes another gown falls through. Another designer has not lived up to the promise, or just some things happen.
So what's the secret? How do you make a living at this? Because a lot of these really well-known actresses and actors, you do men's
Yes,
clothing
we do
as
men's
well.
clothes
You
as
did
well.
your own suit
Yes.
here. It's lovely.
you.
But a lot of them are not going to be paying because they give you so much exposure that
They do. They
you
do.
would almost want to pay them to
Well,
wear your work.
they're an artist as well, and the collaboration begins as at the very beginning. If they're nominated, if they're going to a special event,
Right.
Oftentimes it's wonderful to be honored to have an actress wear your gown that's nominated for an event, and of course
Sure.
they get a lot of publicity, and a little bit of that light shines on you as well. So how do we make a living? We're still trying to figure that part of it out. So,
But
any
you
day
have
now.
you have more. I want to call them corporate clients,
Well,
if you
we have
will.
a lot of clients that appreciate the kind of work that I do, and really do appreciate that, and want to own the pieces that I have. I've even had clients who were on the red carpet. I made them something, and they came back and said, "I love it so much, I'd like to own it." So
Wow.
they've paid me for it. So.
And you also talked about an organization that takes some of these red carpet gowns
I
and
do.
raises money for charity.
Yes, a good friend of mine, Jen Kazmara, came up with an idea a few years ago to have an organization, a charity organization called Clothes Off Our Back. And it's a website set up similar to the way eBay works. Basically, a client wears a gown on the red carpet. After that, the gown, nobody else would wear that. So then they put it up on this website with a photograph of the celebrity that wore it, and they auction that gown off. And the money from it goes to feed several different charities, usually children's charities. That's
Sure.
who she's involved with.
Where are things going now with technology, with the economy? You've been in the business now for a number of years.
Yes.
Where do you see it going? What's the next sort of wave? Is it all going stamped out of these? Because there's amazing now machines that will cut fabric, and the big manufacturers do this,
Right.
and they reduce their costs. And you're not in that field.
We're not in that field.
But its fashion is being affected by technology, the way it's designed. What's the next wave? Where do you see it
Well,
going?
it certainly affects the cost. There have always been machines that could do man's job. Since the industrial age, there's always been a machine that could do your job. Sometimes not better, but sometimes more efficiently, so the cost is less. But you do often lose that hand in it. So what I do, what we make, what I specialize in is that hand, is that human hand in it, which never produces the same thing twice. It's like a piece of art. You could invent a machine that could paint. However, you're not going to be able to invent a machine that can think and paint at the same time.
Right.
And that's what I try to create.
And that's what you bring to the
Yes.
picture. Thank you so much, Ali, for coming back to Cleveland, coming back to Virginia Marti. Congratulations on your success.
Thank you so much.
We love the glamour here, and continued good luck. Thank you so
for
much.
inviting me.
Thank you. Hey, it's Thomas Mulready from CoolCleveland.com. Have a great week in Cool Cleveland.